Welcome to our channel and welcome back to my kitchen. We are having squash casserole because I am swimming in squash and we have to eat it. I really don't like freezing or canning my squash because I don't like it. It makes it mushy. And, you know, it's one thing for it to be soft, but it's another for it to be totally mushy. So, squash casserole is on the menu for today. For your squash casserole, this is all you need. Very, very minimal. You're gonna need 2 eggs, slightly beaten, 1 cup of evaporated milk, a sleeve of saltine crackers, almost a stick of butter, a cup of cheese, cheddar cheese, 1 onion, salt, pepper, and about 5 good-sized squash, about 1.5 pounds. So the first thing I need to do is boil some squash because I'm basically gonna cook it ahead of putting it in that casserole. So let's get it all cut up and put it in the pot to boil. Okay, these are squash that got away from me. I mean, I am swimming in squash right now. And every time I go out there, I find some that I should have got yesterday. So that's what we're gonna use for this casserole because I'm gonna boil it and bake it, so it's still gonna be nice and tender. So we're gonna cut the ends off. And I got a little, not quite pretty spot right there, so we're gonna take that off. Then these big parts, because I want it to boil fast, I'm just gonna cut it into 4. Cut it one side and the other. And then cut it down. Whoop, drop one on the floor, that one's gone. All right, we're gonna put that one right in the pot. Another one fell off. Okay. Let me put it this way. I really don't like to freeze my squash or to can it because it turns into pure mush. So I try to only plant enough squash that we could eat what we want, give a few away, and be done with it. I only planted 10 squash plants, 2 weeks apart, because I did 6, and then 6, and 2 died. So I actually planted. Anyway, it was supposed to like extend the harvest, and I wouldn't have so much at a time, and we could eat squash like every 2 or every 3 days. No. Everything, all of them are producing like mad, and we're eating squash every day, because I really don't like to put it up. The only other way besides, I put it in the frying pan with onions and saute them. I make this casserole, and Randy likes them kind of pickled. I'll like put 3 or 4 different veggies in a jar and pickle them. Yeah, like refrigerator pickle kind of stuff. But yeah, we're having squash. Here we go. Now in my pot, I have 1 quart of water, and I'm just gonna salt it a little bit, maybe a half a teaspoon. Get that lid on there and get it on a high heat and let it come to a full rolling boil. Now we're just gonna let that come up to a boil. It's probably gonna boil about 5-6 minutes, and we'll check it to see how tender it is. And then we'll know where to go. Okay, now that my squash is cooked and drained, we're gonna get it into the mixing bowl. In the mixing bowl we go. Our 2 eggs go in. Our cheese goes in. We're gonna salt and pepper it. Probably a half a teaspoon should do it. Some pepper, about 1/4 of a teaspoon of pepper. 1 cup of evaporated milk. 1 rough cut onion. And by rough cut, I mean just that. It's like just so you can taste and find those onions. And we're just gonna drop those just like they are right in there. And now I'm gonna mash up about a half of a sleeve of crackers, which is just like that. Nothing fancy. Don't even need a rolling pin, nothing. You just squeeze them till you get down to half. Then open up the top of your crackers and drop them right on in. See how easy that was? Turned out just like if I'd have rolled them. Okay, I need 2/3 of a stick of butter, and I forgot to pull it out, so it's frozen or nearly frozen. So what I'm gonna have to do is grate it and then put it in there. So that's what we're gonna do now. But if you have forethought, and don't forget, set your butter out so it's room temperature. I mean, it was 100 degrees out here. I really didn't have, if I'd have remembered to take it out of the freezer, I'd have been good. Okay, all right, that's about 2/3. Now that it's all grated, or it'll incorporate in there, then we're just gonna mix all of this goodness together. Just like that. And it should start melting because, you know, your squash is nice and hot. So now that that butter is grated and it hits that hot squash, then we are golden. Okay, now we're all incorporated. And all I have to do is put it in a casserole dish and get it in a 375-degree oven for about 45 minutes. Okay, now with the rest of that butter, we're gonna put it in there. We're gonna rub it around. Just to get a good light coat in there. And then we're gonna pour our casserole right in there. In we go. Y'all look at that casserole. All that butter bubbling around on the outside and all that crispy cheese on top. Look, look, look.
So I'm going to eat some of this squash casserole. Yeah, Tammy don't know what to do. We got so much squash coming out of that garden. She's throwing it left and right, giving it away to everybody. And I'm telling her, feed me that squash every night.
Right.
And I'll even sauteed and, you know, bacon grease with onions, butter. And I mean, all you got to do is give it. And wow, look at all that onion.
Big chunky onion. I like putting chunky onion in my squash casserole.
Love it.
If y'all like today's video, come back tomorrow. See you then. Bye.